Hello, everybody. I see a lot of people there. It's 2 p.m., so let's start. Welcome to the More Impact and Influence on Social Media webinar. I've got so much to share with you. Many people gave their social media profiles and answered or asked questions they'd like answered. So I'm going to try and put as much as possible into these 40 minutes. First, I'm actually muting all of you so I don't hear a lot of noise in the background. If you have questions, you can ask them in the chat. First of all, I think most of you have already taken the challenge. What I'm going to do today is show you how a stranger looks at your profile. So basically the first impression that your social media gives. I'm going to show you how I look at your profile to give it some added value to turn some things around. And I'm going to answer the questions that you asked when you applied or the questions that you asked in the chat. We have 40 minutes. Usually webinars are like sales webinars. You give a little bit of content and then you try to sell a program. That's not what I intend to do today. I'm going to give you like 35, 36, 37 minutes of a lot of tips and content. But at the end, I do have a very special offer for the full e-course I created. So if you're interested, and if you're still watching at the end, you're probably interested. But most importantly, I just want to share a lot of experience and knowledge with you. So at the end of the session, you will be able to improve your bio. You'll look at your bio in a different way on all different platforms. You will know what the first impression is that you make and how you can improve that. And you can look at your timeline and see if it needs cleaning up or what people notice. We're going to look at Facebook mostly because most people ask questions about Facebook, but also some LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, and website tips. So everything you hear, you can apply to different platforms. First, for people who don't know me very well, let me share my screen and let me show you this slide. How do I move this? I want to move this out of the way. Can't. Oh, man. Small. Okay. So you've probably seen or heard me talk about the cloud score. The cloud score is just an indication of your influence on social media. So if you haven't calculated it yet, I would recommend you do, because then you can see how high you are, how influential you already are, what other people think of you when they search for your cloud score, and how you can improve. And with the tips I'm going to give you today, you can already improve a lot. Above 70, you're in the top 5 to 10% of social media influencers worldwide. And I recently found out that I'm a 72. I might be a bit lower right now, but on average, I'm around 70, which is really, really high considering that I'm from the Netherlands and I have only about 20,000 followers. And I think this is because I started applying the principles for social media long before social media existed. So many of the Dutch people know that I set up Coins for Care, a charity collection for foreign coins. And I raised 16 million euro. That was around the euro introduction in 2002. And there was hardly any internet. There was no social media. So I had to learn to work with free publicity. And I had to reinvent my story all the time. So the same topic, the coins collection, for 2 or 3 years at a time, I had to turn it around and find different perspectives. The women perspective, the money perspective, the social perspective, the charity perspective. So I still apply all those principles today. And I found 3 principles that are really important for social media. That's to be authentic, because everything is transparent. It's to not make it about you. You can use yourself as a vessel to transfer your message, but it has to be about the person watching, to solve their problem, to ask their questions, to help them. And to always add value. A lot of people still use social media to sell for one-way traffic and to just implement their marketing plan onto social media, but that's not how social media works. So why are you watching? Why do you want to improve your social media? I'd like to hear from you on the chat, but in the meantime, I'll give you my idea why it's so important. Because everything nowadays happens on social media. If you're not visible, your clients will think you don't exist, or somebody else will be more visible and that will be top of mind. If you are really interesting in real life, but you're boring on social media, that's the impression that people will remember. On the other hand, if you're visible, if you're smart, if you're considerate, if you're knowledgeable, if you're giving on social media, that's what people will remember of you in real life. So let's just skip all the theory and just go to the social media profiles that people sent in. And let's have a look at what people want. The chat is coming in now. You would like to convey your message in a more clear way. Yes, first you need to know what your message is, and then you need to convey it in a clear way. To inspire people, you also need to know first what they're struggling with, and then you can help them solve that. And authors who want to be published, yes, you also need to be visible as an expert, and people need to find you on your topic, not as an author or on your name, but the topic is important. And I'll show you how you can do that. So I'm going to share my screen again, and we're going to the first person who sent in their Facebook profile. It's Bob. And Bob is my personal trainer. So hello, Bob. First thing I'd like to tell Bob is something that's also important for others. You see his URL, profile.php ID, blah, 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 blah. That's a very difficult profile to share. So you could also get a vanity URL. That's how they call it. And it could be, for example, facebook.com arrowfit. You can get a vanity URL when you have 25 likes. So it's pretty easy. And you just go to facebook.com/username. So if you go to facebook.com/username, you can get a URL for your Facebook page. That's much easier to communicate. Wait a little bit before you get one, because I have some examples of very clear usernames and not so very clear ones. And I think you can only change it once. So you have to choose it well. Another tip for Bob, it's not immediately clear what your page is about. Yes, we see ArrowFit, so it probably has to do something with fit or fitness, but it would be better if your picture would show like a workout or you working with a person, or if you put the words in there that you have here, online fitness training. That would make it clear, because the first thing we look at is this thing, and we need to get all the information here. Also, your page is in German, and I know that you also train people from other countries, and you do that in English, like you do with me. So I would consider creating a page in English, or writing in English, or making a combination. But now the first thing we see is German, and anybody who doesn't speak German won't continue looking for more information. What I like about your timeline is the fitness tip of the day. So it's a tip, and it's a daily thing, and you have, you put pictures in, it looks very good. And the other thing that I like is your videos. Like you post actual trainings on your page so people can see what it's like to train with you. So, and also your personality shows. I know you have a good sense of humor and you put some jokes in here, and you know, so it's good to show your personality, who you are, and what we can expect when we start training with you. The next Facebook page is for a tango teacher in Curacao, Rafa. Rafa has a very clear description, private tango class. He even has his contact details here, which is very good because he gives you, you know, immediately what you can expect, how to reach him. The only thing is this picture. I know it's during a dance, but for first-time visitors, it's not clearly a tango picture. We would expect something more like this, or, you know, a couple dancing. So to make it more clear, you could do that. Then if we look at about, you have a space for our story. But this is not a story. This is not storytelling. This is just facts that you give. So this is a place where you could describe your passion, how you got into tango, what people can get out of it, and how you can help them to do that. So use storytelling to also transfer that information. And if I look at your page, at the posts actually, it's book a private tango class. Book a private tango class. Private tango class. This is an event, which is nice. And then we continue, tango show, okay, private tango class. So it's mostly about booking a private tango class. And I understand you want people to do that. But it would be nice if you could, you know, put some information in about the passion for tango, give some tips, show some videos like you are doing on your personal page. You know, you announce events. This is something about the island, so not so relevant for tango. You have like images about tango. You have videos. You announce new lessons. You have music. So this already shows a lot more of your tango passion. Also, the picture is better. You see, it's more about tango. So if you look at your page again, I would put more of yourself, your personality, your passion, more tango things here. And then every now and then you announce that people can also book a private tango class. But first you have to get them interested. This Facebook page is from Suze, and she creates jewelry made from Barbie. I was always going to say leftovers, Barbie pieces. Very creative. And I think this picture really shows what she does, but this picture doesn't. So I would use the example of Rafa to put a picture here of the results and maybe describe what you do in text on the home picture. You do have this information in about. I design creative jewelry by using old Barbie parts. So I would put that, you know, in a nicer way. I would put that on your header picture. You sent me a link that said Barba Bish, but I couldn't find it. So I had to look for your name, and then I found this page. So when you share the link to your page, make sure to share the right link, because otherwise people can't find your page. What else? If you use this name, does it explain what you do? Babar Bish. First, it's a hard thing to share, like how do you spell it? What does it mean? And second, it doesn't really explain what you do. So I know you're already using it and it looks really nice on the card here, but think about it for the digital world if this is the name that you want to use. Another thing for your picture, you're showing the ingredients here, like the parts that you use. But maybe it's better to show the results, like you did in this picture and like you do in this picture, because this gives us an idea of what you do. Oh, and the other thing is, on August 9th, you posted more information will follow soon, but it's now January 2018 and there's not more information. So as a first-time visitor, this will give me the impression that this page is not very active. So either you don't write down more information soon, or you do write it, but then you have to update. So those are my tips for Suze. This is another person, Anneke, who creates objects. And it's really interesting. She uses old tires. She creates all kinds of things. She does use a vanity URL, but Pips Inc. doesn't really mean anything to me. So again, I would consider, is this the name you want to use, or do you want to use a name, for example, retire, you know, something that indicates what you do, what you use. The header picture is of the results, which is nice. And she does have a lot of nice pictures of the different products that she creates. Look at this. But what I miss in those pictures is children playing on these things, happy faces, people using the objects. So these are almost pictures of dead objects, if I'm being really critical. So it could be better if you use smiling faces in there, and that's what a lot of professional product advertisers do. I always look at about. And I see you have a very high level mission. You hope that people with, how do you say, limitation will be able to make their own income without being subsidized. That's great, but I still don't know what that has to do with your product. Do these people create your products? And then the story is missing. Why do you do this? And then about, here you say why you do this. You give old car tires a new life, and we do this by creating new products. And you strive to give people with limitations a job. That's great. But it's all about you. It doesn't say anything about people buying your products. Why would you buy them? Why would I be interested? Why would I want to recycle? So I would involve more the buyers, like references, pictures of people who bought your products, happy kids, to not make it so high level and to use storytelling. You got this idea because of something. And if we know what that is, we can share your passion and your journey, and we will want to be part of it. Susanna asked me how she could get more attention for her projects for sensitive kids, like highly sensitive kids. Now, my first impression of this Facebook page, because you see pictures of her with a kid, is that it's a personal page. But then I look at the introduction and it says she's an author and a publisher. So I think, okay, this is a professional page. And then there's all kinds of posts about presentations that she gives, but also about kids, and then about advertising. And then this is actually a very good one for the topic about being highly sensitive. So this is a story about two kids, and then she gives information about an event. This is also about highly sensitive kids. This is about a dress. And I understand it's a correcting dress and it's like an editor joke, but first impression is, a dress. So Suzanne and others, if you want to focus on one topic, then focus on that topic and make it clear from the beginning. Like in your header picture, in the about section, use storytelling and make sure that that it's clear what your page is about. I think your topic deserves a specific page, like a page for highly sensitive kids, because it's a topic that a lot of people are interested in, and if they search for it, they will find your page. And if you post something about a specific topic, don't post it only on the page, but post it all over Facebook so more people can see it. Here we are, Janne, a very special lady who travels around the world collecting moments from people. She asks them to draw a special moment from the last week, and she does that all over the world. And this page is about her world tour. So if you don't know Janne, you think, oh, this is a nice picture, but it's about traveling. And I know it's not about traveling, it's about making people happy. So I would show a picture here, more like the one to the side, how she makes people happy, people in the process of drawing or the result, the drawings. She does have a very good storytelling story. I want to make people happy. Why do I do this? How do I do this? So she used the storytelling, which is really good. Also, there is a website for more information. So if you want to know more, she shows you where you can go. You also have a call to action. Do you join me? But it's not clear what exactly you want me to do. Do you want me also to go into a train and ask people to draw pictures? Do you want me to send you a picture of something I drew? Do you want me to host you on your world tour? Do you want me to organize presentations for you? Make it clear how I can help you if you want me to help. I'm moving on because there are so many people who sent in their profile. This Facebook page is from Jacqueline, and she's a marriage counselor, actually marriage trainer. And she used her header picture to ask a question. How do you fill your love tank, like your reserve or your like a gas tank in a car? So she asks a question, which is really good because it engages people. She's also very active in asking for likes. Normally, I don't ask it if people ask. I don't like it when people ask for likes, because if I like a page, I will like it. But if your call to action is for people to like the page, then why not ask it? And she also explains why you would want to do that. Her about section is really good. So she also has storytelling about marriages, what can go wrong, and how you can... Sorry, confused about the message. We have 10 minutes left. Yeah. So how you can use her services. She also, on her homepage, her services are listed. Look at this. So a Facebook page can be almost like a website. Serge has a Facebook page about picture books. So he's the picture book guy. But this picture doesn't explain to me that it's all about picture books. It seems to be all about him. And he asked very good questions. What is the last book you read? He posts about picture books. But if you do this on a page with 96 people who liked it, you will only reach a maximum of 96 people. On the other hand, if you post like this on Facebook in general, you will reach a lot more people, especially if you use tags like this, so you find like-minded people and direct them to your Facebook page. Yeah, that's all for now. Going on to the next person. Ellen wanted more information. She's hidden behind this thing. She wanted more information about her travel page. And my question is, what do you want people to get from this page? I don't see what's in it for me. Is it just your personal photo diary? When I go to About, I do see that you want to inspire others to follow their dreams. And why not put that on your header picture? Because that's the first thing that people see. And why don't you mention your travel page on your other Facebook page? You say it's pretty successful, so I would do cross-promoting. Now I see I moved this to the wrong place. If I move it here. Yes. I might have missed one. Oh no. Okay. Here. Sonsoles, she has an introduction on her header photo, which is great, but it's a lot of text and it's kind of a little bit formal. And when you see her introduction here, I help leaders design productive virtual teams. It's much more personal. So I would put a more personal message there. Susan sent me a broken Facebook page link, which is not a good idea. So always check your links. She also sent me her Twitter profile, and her Twitter profile has a link to her website. She doesn't have a lot of followers, and you can see her cloud score is 26, which is pretty low, which means that she can gain a lot from following some simple social media tips. So if we go to her website, it's about life design. It's about freedom. You can get a free From Survive to Thrive in 10 Steps guide or challenge. So I would promote that same thing on your Twitter and on your Facebook page if you can get it working again. Be more visible, because it sounds very interesting. And we're going to LinkedIn, some LinkedIn examples. Esther has a title which is a mix of Dutch and English. That's a bit confusing, so I would stick to one language. Her bio is nice, but she asks questions like, what do I do? Why do I do this? Why would you want my help? And I don't think you need those questions. You can just start with the answers. I help entrepreneurs, blah, 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 blah. And the links that you have here are not clickable. How can I know more about you when I can't click your links? Another Facebook. Marika says she wants to promote her foundation more through LinkedIn. And that's great. You mentioned the foundation here, but I cannot find any information about it. Like contact and personal information, nothing about the foundation. If I go to your experience, you do mention it here as a second. Why not put it first? And also it's very formal to raise funds for the rebuilding of the island. If you use storytelling here, people will be more likely to be interested. And I'll do one more LinkedIn. Christine, you have a very impressive LinkedIn bio, text. You're very good at what you do. It all sounds very formal. So I was wondering, where are you? Why do you do what you do? What is your passion? Why would I want to hire you? I'm not hiring your resume. I want to know more about you. And if I look at your profile, there's nothing there. No contact details, no story. So show us more about you. Then we have an Instagram profile here. It's about a Brazilian girl. More information here. So we go to more information, and then we have a homepage, and it says she's a legal compliance. That wasn't mentioned. Support my charity. Charity? We haven't heard about your charity yet. And then it says you can visit my website with a click on the button above. What button? Support my charity? There's no other button. So basically, if I want to know more about you, if I want to hire you as a legal compliance associate or as a photographer, because I like your Instagram pictures, I can't contact you. Another Instagram. This is Dasha. This bio is about you, sharing what I do to unfold my tango, promoting pleasure as learning principle. I would like to know what I can learn from that. Your link, it's a bit.ly, which is smart. It's not a long link, but when I click it, it goes to a YouTube video of 4 minutes without a description about manhood in tango. So I still don't know what it's about. So be clear, give people something they understand and know what it's leading to. Helene, you say it's a brand, it's me, it's inspiring you. I don't know what you do. I know you create these great clothes and quotes and whatever. You take great pictures, but it's not in here. I have to do the work to find out what you do. So please make it easy for me. Time is going so fast. You probably feel like this right now. Sorry about that. I have so much to share and I have like less than a minute. So what I'm going to do very fast, I have this great e-course, 8 hours of information. Normally 8 hours of my time are worth 2,000 euros. But I offer this course for $2.99 and you get access to an exclusive Facebook group where I can answer all your questions. But for today only, and it's valid only 24 hours, I'm offering you the 8-hour e-course where you get much, much more information than this and access to a personal private Facebook group for only 99 euro. On my website, Influencer, you use the webinar live code, and for 24 hours, you will get this full course with 8 hours and personal feedback and evaluation for only $99. If you're watching this webinar on a recording, go to estherjacobs.info/e-courses for another offer, which will never be as good as this one. So I'm really sorry that, the time is already up. If you have questions, send them to me in email and I'll try to answer your questions. I hope I gave you some information about how you can improve your first impression on social media. And there's much more, how to turn posts around. If you take the